Okay, remember a few years ago when millennials were being criticized for being overly picky about the jobs they choose?
They were being labeled as lazy, entitled, a hopeless generation even. And then research started getting published which showed that the reason they were being picky is because they want a job that means something.
It wasn't good enough for them to just work in a factory all day or sit behind a desk for 10 years for a promotion that would never come. Instead, they wanted real purpose for their work. They wanted to go out and save the whales or cure Alzheimer's or build orphanages in Africa. They really wanted to do something that mattered instead of just chasing tasks.
In short, what this generation, and all people for that matter, crave is purpose.
We understand, not all jobs can be as altruistic and glamorous as we'd like them to be, but every company should at least try to breathe purpose into their employees' work.
It just takes a little bit of reframing. Instead of saying to the sales team, go sell stuff and make a bunch of money, you can say, look, our product genuinely helps people, and the work that you're doing is important.
I worked for a time as a tax accountant, and it was very difficult to feel motivated and catch on to the vision when all I was focused on was that checklist of mandatory items that I had to do in order to make sure the taxes were filed properly. I found great purpose in transitioning my line of thinking to saying, hey, I'm actually providing a service for people to help people do something that they otherwise wouldn't be able to do on their own.
We won't pull out that JFK story when he talked to the janitor at NASA and said, what are you doing? And he said, I'm helping put a man on the moon.
But you just pulled it out.
Yeah, okay. But it brings up a good point. It doesn't matter what job you do per se. It matters about the purpose that you instill behind it. If you can bring meaning to an employee's job, all of a sudden it becomes a rallying cause, and they are a part of something much bigger than just them.
Okay, so let's start. The best thing that you can do is to have a mission and a vision as a company. And I know you've heard that, and you probably already have one. But are you really living it? Is it really a part of the everyday work experience for your employees?
Howard Ross is considered one of the world's seminal thought leaders on how to address and overcome unconscious bias. He said this.
What could it look like if we really created a kind of organization we want, and how do we then build from the future? So how do we build towards that way of looking at things? And that involves having a very clear vision and a very clear sense of purpose, and also articulated ideas of what that shows, how that shows up behaviorally. I mean, everybody these days has a vision statement or a mission statement, but more often it's on the walls than in the halls. So how do we really articulate that? What does it mean, for example, to have integrity in this organization? What does it mean to treat each other with respect or kindness or generosity or whatever it is?
On the halls or in the wall? On the walls or in the halls? I love that quote because to me that perfectly encapsulates the biggest problem that we have when it comes to living the mission statement. We go through great effort to brand and create this wonderful idea of what we want the company to be, but then we don't live it.
So here's something you can do today. On the background of your phone, you should put the mission statement up. Is it too long and doesn't actually fit on there? Well, then we need to change it a little bit. And as you look at it, stop and think for a second, am I living this right now? And am I bringing this to my employees to say this is who we are and this is what we stand for?
We have to make sure that we are modeling the behavior that we want our employees to see. We want them to see us living the vision, see us living the mission statement, and then that will be disseminated throughout the organization and will become a part of the employee experience. Mary sat down with us and gave us some really great insights on what it looks like to do it wrong and what it looks like to do it right.
So if you just state really clearly, here's what we value, here's what we want to do, and get out of people's way, I think you're going to have a much better result.
Remember, we're talking about purpose here, not policy, not procedure. If you instill a policy, it's a rule that is a yes or a no for people. But if you instill a purpose, all of a sudden they get to frame their own behavior around it.
It reminds me of back in the day when you were really overly prescriptive about dress codes, and it said no blue jeans, so everybody wore black jeans because, well, it doesn't say black. So when you start to get that granular, you do get that kind of nitpicking behavior from employees.
All too often, we spend so much time trying to pull together all of these policies and procedures that we think are necessary to help employees know how to behave and how to act inside of an organization. But really, we just need to keep it simple.
Ritz-Carlton is very popular of saying, we are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. That is a very open-ended statement. It is not super wordy, and yet it sets up expectations so much. we respect you as ladies and gentlemen, as well as we respect our customers as ladies and gentlemen. So it's such a strong statement, and it didn't take a 48-page employee manual to state it.
We actually had the opportunity to sit down with Jason Averbook as well. He's the CEO and co-founder of LeapGen, a thought leader, an author, and a futurist.
So for me, it's the 30-second cocktail napkin pitch as to what is our vision as an organization. 30 seconds, not 10 minutes, not 18 tenants,
Right.
30 seconds
Right.
that everyone can do on a cocktail napkin and say, here's the problem or here's the opportunity that I actually want to solve in this specific area. And let's say it's an engagement, So I want to take this part of the workforce and get them to here.
Right.
Or I want to take this type of worker and get them to here. A true focus and a true vision, and then a true execution plan from that. That would be to me, that's the holy grail, and that's what we see work in organizations versus let's just roll out a bunch of programs and see which one sticks.
Yep.
Usually none of them do.
The mission and vision is foundational to everything that you do. It takes time to lock in, but once you have it, that unifies the organization in a way that now we don't have to deal about the minutia, and we can look at the bigger problems. Like, how do we boost performance? How do we increase engagement? How do we decrease turnover?
So we have to be intentional. We have to be strategic about how we are going to create value, how we're going to create a mission statement and a purpose for our employees. And it can't be something that we just think, well, oh yeah, this will stick. No, it has to be something that we live, that we model, that the employees wake up every morning and they say, yeah, I love what I'm doing because what I'm doing matters.
Tamara Chandler is CEO of People Firm, which was listed as one of America's best management consulting firms by Forbes magazine. She teaches us how to build a compelling strategy on both how to form and act on our mission statement.
We think it really has to start with strategy, that you need to create a strategy that is clear but compelling to your people, and compelling in a way that's like, I get up every day because this matters to me, it's bigger than me, I'm part of something. And if you can create that compelling strategy and then tie people's work to it, so they say, hey, the work I'm doing matters, it's moving me and this organization in a direction. If we get that right, and then we create a culture and an environment that lets me do my work without a lot of stress and strain and that type of thing, then we're golden.
In conclusion, it is so critical to have a mission statement and a vision.
But what do I do next?
I'm glad you asked, Alexander.
It's super easy. All you have to do tomorrow, send an email to a few employees and ask them to respond back with 3 adjectives that they think describe the company. Compare those adjectives to the mission statement and look for similarities, look for alignment. If it's not there, then either the company's mission statement is wrong for the organization or the employees just haven't caught the vision. This will help you understand if the vision is working for your organization or if it's just something that's hanging on a poster in the break room.
Thanks again for watching. If you are interested in developing a continuous listening strategy in your organization, Forgen can help. Check out our website, drop us a line, we'd love to hear from you. And remember, today's HR has the privilege of bringing purpose to work.